All right, let's talk about something big that Microsoft just dropped. It's a platform that's seriously going to change how big companies build and manage their AI. It's called Microsoft Foundry, and today we're going to break down exactly what it is, how it works, and why everyone's calling it the AI factory for the enterprise. So, to really get why Foundry is such a big deal, you've got to understand the problem it's trying to solve. You see, right now, the world of AI inside big companies is, well, it's a bit of a mess. Think about it. They've got dozens of different AI tools and chatbots, some built on OpenAI, some on other models, all kind of living in their own little worlds. There's no single place to see what's going on, no unified control. It's just chaos. So, Microsoft's answer to all that chaos is Foundry. The vision here is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. The idea is to create one single unified platform where a company can build, operate, and govern every single one of its AI apps and agents. It's all about bringing some much-needed order to that chaos. Okay, so what is this platform really? Let's peel back the layers and get into the specifics of what Microsoft has actually built here. At its heart, Microsoft Foundry is what you'd call a platform as a service. A better way to think about it is like a complete workbench, delivered right through the cloud but made specifically for enterprise AI. Now, what's so cool about this is that it brings three different worlds together. You've got AI operations, you've got model building, and you've got app development. It's one system to kind of rule them all. And this is a brilliant way to picture it. These two analogies really nail it. On one hand, yeah, it's like a super efficient assembly line, giving developers all the parts and tools they need to build these sophisticated AI agents. But on the other hand, it's also like a command center, giving the higher-ups a single dashboard to keep an eye on the cost, performance, and security of their entire fleet of AI. Now, you might be thinking, wait, doesn't Microsoft already have a bunch of AI tools? And you're right. This slide makes it super clear where Foundry fits in. So you've got Microsoft Copilot. That's the no-code product for everyday folks. Then you have Copilot Studio, a low-code tool that lets business users build or tweak copilots. And then you have Foundry. This is the pro-code, high customization platform for developers who need to build pretty much any kind of AI agent or app from scratch. So let's step inside the factory and see how this thing actually works in the real world. We're going to walk through two really powerful use cases, one for the no-code crowd and one for the pro-coders, just to show you how versatile this platform really is. First up, let's check out how someone with absolutely zero coding skills can whip up a powerful customer support agent in, and I'm not kidding, like 5 minutes. This really shows you how accessible the platform is. Step 1, you've got to pick your engine. Foundry gives you this massive catalog with models from all the big names: OpenAI, Meta, Cohere, you name it. For a job like customer support, you'd probably start with something fast and powerful like GPT-4o. Next, you give the agent its personality and its marching orders. You do this with a simple system prompt, just written in plain English. You're literally just telling it who it is and how it should act. No code, just clear instructions. Okay, now for the most important step: making the agent actually smart. This is where a feature called Foundry IQ comes into play. You ground the agent, which is just a fancy way of saying you connect it directly to your company's own information. Like a SharePoint site, policy PDFs, or your public website. This is huge because it means the agent's answers are accurate and based on your data, not just random stuff from the internet. And bam, you can test it right away in this little playground environment. You can start simple, but where it really shows its power is with those complex multi-part questions. Because it's grounded in your data, it can break down a complicated question, find all the right info for each part, and give you one single correct answer. It's incredibly powerful stuff. Okay, let's switch gears completely. That was for the business folks. Now, let's look at something for the professional developers, running these powerful AI models directly on your own computer. This is done with a tool called Foundry Local. It's a simple command line thing that lets developers download and run models from that big catalog right on their local machine. I mean, this is a huge deal for testing, for development, and especially for working offline without racking up a giant cloud bill. And just look how simple this is. With a single command, just like the one you see here, a developer can download and fire up a really powerful, lightweight model. This isn't some gimmick. This fundamentally changes the speed of development. You can test, you can debug, and you can build your apps on your own machine without waiting around or spending a ton of money. And the command line comes with all the stuff you'd expect. You can list the models you have, run new ones, and manage the local service. It's a full-on toolkit for developers who really want that fine-grained control over their AI development environment. Okay, so now that we've seen it in action, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture here. What a platform like Foundry actually means for trust, for scale, and for the whole future of AI. First, let's just talk about scale and choice. We're talking over 1,800 models in the catalog. That means companies aren't locked into a single provider. They can pick and choose the best, most cost-effective model for every single task and manage it all under one roof. That's a game changer. But building AI is one thing. Operating it safely is a whole other beast. And this is where this idea of Gen AI Ops comes in. It's basically the rulebook for how you evaluate, monitor, and govern your AI systems to make them trustworthy enough for a big company to rely on. And Foundry is built from the ground up around this philosophy. And Foundry breaks this down into 3 really clear stages. First, you evaluate and pick the best base model for the job. Then, before it goes live, you test the heck out of your app in pre-production. And finally, after you deploy it, you're constantly monitoring how it's performing and if it's safe out there in the real world. It's a full lifecycle approach to building trust. And this trust isn't just some idea. It is built right into the platform with actual features. You get built-in safety filters, protection against things like jailbreak attacks, full integration with Azure's hardcore security, and you can even bring your own storage if you need to for compliance reasons. And this really brings us to the most important takeaway of this whole thing. Foundry isn't just another tool for building a chatbot. It's a complete operational platform. We're talking about a shift from building one-off AI projects to managing AI as a core strategic part of the business, operating an entire fleet of agents just as systematically as you'd manage your servers or your databases. And this really leaves us with one final fascinating question to think about. Once a platform like this becomes the standard, and every major company has its very own AI factory, what gets built next? What new kinds of intelligent applications and automations are we going to see? The possibilities are, well, they're pretty staggering to think about.